Their holidays. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
This meeting we're going to start off a little differently. We have a guest speaker here from the Parent Leadership Initiative. We'd just like to introduce herself and her organization.
Thank you, Inspector, for having me.
Sure, our pleasure.
Hi, my name is Lisa Rappa. I'm a community advocate, and today I'm here with my PLI hat on. PLI is a powerful leadership program that is offered in the town of Huntington. It is a 15-week program that starts at the end of January, beginning of February, that gives you the skills, the tools, and the knowledge to be able to go out into your community, hone in on the needs of your community or yourself or your family, and then get out there and advocate or support or volunteer or lead based on who you are. And when you're in the program, you start to learn about yourself. It's very, very positive. You start to realize that you have skills and abilities you didn't even know you had. And on the flip side, it gives you the opportunity in a very safe space to hone in on skills that you might need to develop more. You learn about how to find the resources in your community to be able to get what you feel you want to do done. Whether you are trying to work on a town, county, or federal level, state level, what we do is we bring in guest speakers that will come in and in a very positive, human way, and I say that because you're not talking to the politician or the representative. You're talking to a person who is there with the same desires that you might have to be able to support your community. And they will tell you their experiences, their knowledge, how they got things done, where to go and how to go about doing it. And then we will help you form a vision for what you would like to do to help support your community, and we will help you work through the process to be able to bring your vision to fruition. So it's a community-based opportunity. It is offered at no cost to you. It is paid for by the town of Huntington and other local, private, and public entities. We offer a light dinner, so if you're coming from work, you don't have to worry about feeding yourself. If you have children, they are welcome to come, as long as we know that they will be there. The program is offered for anyone from 18 and up. So if you have a senior in high school that is interested in leadership or advocacy, this is an excellent way for them to get some knowledge in before they go off to college. And they get leadership hours for it, of course, which will add up very nicely. It is wonderful on a resume. At the graduation, it is amazing the accolades that you get. So you are recognized from the town up. The program itself carries a lot of clout. When you come and you speak on behalf of the community, and you say, hello, my name is Lisa Rappa, I am a PLI graduate, you automatically receive attention because the people that you are presenting to know that you're going to message properly, that you're going to use the proper framework, that you're not going to take more than a minute and a half of their time, and you're going to be looking for a bye before you're done. So you get to have messaging, you get leadership skills, you get public speaking skills, which for me, horrific. You learn, if you're shy, how to get yourself out there, and if you're somebody like myself, how to step back and let people have a voice. You are part of over 1,000 people that have gone through this program. We've had doctors, lawyers, politicians, library personnel, young children, community members, community leaders go through the program. You form your own needs when you're in this program and you take away from a group of over 99 people what you want and how you can fulfill your desires. June, one word.
One touch.
What was PLI to you?
Wow, more than one word. Has to be more than one word.
You're gonna fail.
I know I'm gonna fail. It was surprising. It was unexpected. It was introspective. You don't realize they teach you about things that you don't even know that you don't know. Which makes you a better, more well-rounded leader, I think. And when Jim and I took it, it was project-oriented. Is it still project-oriented?
It is still project-driven, yes.
Exactly, and at the time there was a rule that you couldn't use an existing project that you were already involved in, so I made up a new one just to get the training, and then I never pursued it, because I really wanted to use it for Huntington Matters, which I actually did. So now I don't think that rule still exists, that they support you in an existing project also. I highly recommend it. It was an incredible connection with other people that we still are connected to this day. It's a support network that you can count on forever.
Jim, can you help me?
Yeah, you know what, I didn't recognize you. First, I gotta apologize. You know what, it enlightened you. It was a lot like the police one, the Citizen Police Academy. It opens up different avenues and shows you different ways to go about things. And when it comes to the community base, it actually opens your eyes. It shows you what direction you have to go in. It helps you out a lot if you want to get involved with something. That it will show you and it helps you to move in direction. I got a lot of contacts with PLI.
Networking.
Yeah,
Strong, yes.
exactly.
Anybody else here a PLI graduate?
Kenny, you got Kenny over here.
Hi, what is your name? Or do you have a question?
Parent Leadership Initiative, Janet Wallerstein and
Yep.
Mary Augusta were
Yes,
at that time.
yes.
And it was all women. I'm surprised that I'm seeing that you included men now.
Well, what my goal is, I didn't clock myself. Am I okay? Okay, okay. What my goal is to encapsulate the community. I don't want everybody to be like-minded because then we can't learn from each other.
Exactly.
So what I try to do is break into all of the different communities that we have. I'm still working on it each year. I try a goal to break into another community so that when you walk into that room, you are seeing 18 to 99 different ethnic groups, different age groups, different socioeconomic brackets, because we have to learn from each other. Mm-hmm. We have to hone in on our listening skills, our observation skills. We have to hear other people's stories or we can't learn and grow. We can't evolve. That's why we're all here today, okay? So whether it's a man, a child, I don't know how you would say, I don't look at sexual orientation. I have a clean slate. I want to hear your story, and if your story fits into what we're speaking about now, I want to have you. Because you're going to learn, you're going to grow, and whether you get out there to do this for your family, your friends, your community, you are going to be such a walking plethora of knowledge by the time you're done that you will be able to really help anyone with any form of need, because you will learn how to identify and fulfill. Yes, ma'am.
You said that the town of Huntington funds this,
Yes?
so the taxpayers are paying for it, am I correct?
Okay, I'm not going to get into finances here. You know, you can always call the Child Care Council of Suffolk, who supports the program, and get a complete understanding of where the financial background is. What to me it is that our community is interested in investing in us and helping us to learn and to grow without having to have us dig into our pocket for thousands of dollars.
But do they oversee what you're doing?
The town of Huntington?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're here. Is there anybody here from the town or the county today?
We live in the town.
No, she means
No,
representatives.
representing the town?
This program's been going on for a
We're here
really
from
long
public-
time.
We have a couple people here from public safety, but we're not involved in, you know, the financing of.
Okay, I mean, you can, if you want to get a reference, you can, Chad Lupinacci comes and speaks at our program. Steve Stern is one of our speakers.
Gene Cook.
Jean Cook is a huge supporter, Susan Berland, and again, I'm not here for politics, this is nonpartisan, but if you're looking for, Susan is actually a graduate. If you're looking for references, the program's been around for almost 30 years. This is the flagship location. Yes, sir.
So I work with Susan, I'm new. I'm an aide for Legislator Berland, so
Hi.
if nobody has questions, I can be here.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say, I know a number of people who graduated from the program. I have not. I have heard nothing but positive things about it and the impact you've had on people's lives to make them confident, to make them better community members. So however it gets paid is the issue that we're making our community stronger, and that anyone's welcome to apply.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yes.
So that, as you said, from 18 to 99, that if you have the time in your schedule, is it a nighttime thing, is it a daytime thing?
Right now, we are going to be offering it on probably a Monday or a Tuesday, but I'm looking to see people's availability. It runs from 6 to 9, which includes dinner. And we do 1 or 2 Saturdays. We will give you a complete schedule when you come and meet with me, so that you have an understanding of what your level of commitment is. And of course, we understand that there could be absences. Not everybody can have a perfect life. But thank you, that really encapsulated it for me. Are there any other questions? Because I really don't want to take too much time. Yes.
apply then? Where are you located?
Me, myself?
How do they apply?
How do they play?
Oh, okay. I'm going to leave a few of my cards here. Okay, my name is Lisa Rappa. You can contact me through the Child Care Council of Suffolk. The phone number is 462-0303. Or you can get me on Facebook and instant message me, Lisa Rappa. I also have the privilege of having a page on Huntington Matters, which is the Huntington Matters Volunteer Network. They were kind enough to allow me to use their space, and they're training me. So I'm learning how to do it. Any other questions? Okay, well, I really appreciate your time, and I hope to see some of you.
Just one other question.
Yes,
How often do you meet?
it's 15 consecutive weeks.
Oh, consecutive?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Lisa, I think you need more cards.
Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. So we'll get into the police portion here. Regular. Yes. You have a question, right?
There's so much talking.
You can't hear me. Okay. I'll try to speak.
Do you want
a
to come
little
over
louder.
here? Come sit. You sure?
Okay. We'll start off as usual with some crime statistics. This is for the year. Ended in December 31st. It was for the complete year. We were, as you can see, we're down in robberies, we were up in assaults, down in burglaries, pretty much down or even in everything except for assaults. Vehicle theft was about the same. That's for the year. The month, December as compared to November, we were up in robberies, as you can see, up in assaults, we'll talk about those. A couple of burglaries also we'll talk about, we're up there. And we're about even in commercial burglaries and larcenies. Vehicle thefts went up for the month from 3 to 6. The first burglary we'll talk about was in Northport. Male entered the house, punched the female, pushed her down. She initially didn't call us, took a day or two for her to call us, then she became uncooperative after she called us, so we're not entirely sure what happened there. She currently is still uncooperative, so unless that changes, we won't have much more information on that. On the 22nd, there was a burglary on Murdoch in South Huntington. 3 people entered the house, tied up the residence. They took jewelry and a rifle. I hear some people worried about that. It was a targeted house, problem location for us, so we're still working on that though. And then just yesterday, there was a burglary on Rustic Gate. It was a guy who just left his house for 20 minutes, left the door unlocked, came back 20 minutes later, laptops were gone, iPad was gone. So you can't leave your house or your car unlocked for even a few minutes because you never know who's lurking around. A few robberies that we had during the month. The first one was on Wall Street. It was teenagers who took a skateboard and a backpack from another teenager. No weapons were used. There was cash taken by a taxi driver from one of his fares. We made an arrest on that. That was at the mall. T-Mobile, there was someone who entered the store, cut the cable on 2 of the display phones, and was confronted. Stated he had a gun, but no gun was seen. And then the next 2 are connected in all likelihood. Is a male and a female with handguns. They went into a gas station, attempted to get cash. They pressed the emergency button and they fled. Once they saw that, they fled. And then a couple of days later, they attempted the same thing at a liquor store on Depot. They didn't get cash, but they stole some liquor. We had a reckless endangerment in South Huntington. A fence was struck with bullets there. Once again, we believe that house was targeted. We don't think it was a random incident. There was an assault on Broadway and Greenlawn. Another uncooperative victim, so we're not entirely sure what happened there. He had a puncture wound in his arm. These are the arrests for the month of December. You can see we had a total of 167. 34 of them were for felonies. 35 drug-related, and 23 DWI-related. A couple of search warrants during the month. First one was on the 3rd on Grand Place. Cocaine, heroin, and cash were recovered, and 2 people were arrested there. And then on Lenox Road in Huntington Station, cocaine, marijuana, cash, packaging. Again, 2 arrests were made there. Unfortunately, we had a few serious motor vehicle accidents over the past month or so. The first one was on Pulaski Road. A pedestrian was struck. He's got a brain injury, but survived. The next 2, unfortunately, were fatals. A bicyclist was hit at 25 and Walt Whitman. He did not survive. And then there was just a few days ago, there was a crash, Broadway and Depot in Greenlawn, and there were 2 injuries in addition to a fatality, so it was a pretty serious accident. Nope. Not all of those were non-criminal. These are the contributing factors for serious and fatal accidents. You can see speed is at the top. Pedestrian error and alcohol or drugs are kind of tied for second, and then driver inattention. Summonses we wrote for the month, 1,400 and about 450 for moving violations. And these are some pictures from people who have committed crimes in the town. If anybody recognizes anyone or any clothing or anything, let us know. These 2 women stole pocketbooks from Saks. This car was involved in breaking into cars and stealing items from Planet Fitness. These women stole medication from CVS. Items from 7-Eleven and Comac. This woman. Another Planet Fitness.
Wow.
Credit cards taken.
That is a really clear picture.
If anybody knows it, let us know.
Holy moly.
Tools from Home Depot.
Yeah.
Tools from Ace Hardware. This guy used someone else's identification to purchase 2 dogs.
And then posed for a picture with his new puppies.
And they use stolen credit cards to purchase items at Apple and a couple other stores in the town. Monthly reminders, I say it every month, but please don't leave your I just said it earlier, don't leave your valuables unlocked, either in your car or in your house for any length of time, because that's the overwhelming majority of our larcenies and burglaries and car thefts could be prevented if people locked their doors and didn't leave the keys in the car, or didn't leave the car running. So please do that and spread the word on that. Larcenies at gyms, we went over a couple. Planet Fitness is not the only one. There's gyms all across the county that are being hit, so always lock your valuables when you're at the gym. Scams are continuing. They haven't slowed down. Again, debit cards are not going to be asked by anybody who's legitimately in business. So if it's a debit card that's asked for, it's a scam.
Or gift cards, right?
Or gift cards. I'm sorry. I misspoke. You're right. Gift cards. Police report online, another monthly reminder. Not all reports do you need to have police respond to you, or you don't need to come down to the precinct. You can do it online at SuffolkPD.org. Obviously, emergencies, domestics, things like that you can't do online, but there are certain things you can do online if you want. Upcoming events, we have Coffee with a Cop on the 15th. Of the Truth presentation at F. Hollow Hills on the 22nd.
Ooh, good. Is that with Narcan training?
Yes, I think so.
The Ugly Truth? Okay.
Yep.
Can you go back to that one again?
Sure.
Yeah.
Can we take a picture of that?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
The 22nd.
22nd.
Hee hee.
This is on your website, you can find it, or?
It's probably on the department website, yes.
Yeah, we'll post it.
How long is it approximately?
I'm not sure. I can find out though. I
Like
don't
3
know.
hours, like you have to be out by 9, yeah.
Thank you.
I'm a certified Narcan trainer, so if you ever want me to come and do a training during one of your meetings,
Yeah, we have here too. We've done
okay, so you can always, I'm always around if any, and if you need Narcan, if you have an emergency, I have connections to be able to get it within a few hours.
Okay, thank you. Everybody got that? Operation Medicine Cabinet, again, unused or unwanted medications can be dropped off safely. You can do it at any precinct or at headquarters, but if you don't want to come to the precinct, they have them periodically around the town. This one is tomorrow at the senior center. Open enrollment for our Explorer program. So 14-year-old to 21-year-old who's interested in law enforcement. They'll be here. Open enrollment will be on the 16th and the 30th, 7 o'clock in the morning. So if you know anybody who's interested.
What time is it,
16th and the
16, yeah,
30th.
it's,
Do you have a flyer?
I apologize for the body the focus, but it's the 16th and the 30th at 7 o'clock here at the precinct. Or if you have any other questions, you can contact our COPE or community liaison officers at 854-8250, and they could work something else out if you can't make it here on those 2 days, or whoever you know can't make it here on those 2 days.
Me and Jim are going to join.
Our next meeting is February 4th at South Huntington Library at 7 o'clock p.m. Those are the rest of the contact information. And that's it.
It doesn't say.
Any questions or comments? Yes.
In light of the assassination, has there been any uptick in Suffolk County of any threat assessment?
We don't have any
Solomani.
threats. I'm sorry. Did you want to repeat that? I don't think everyone heard that. Yeah.
In light of the assassination, is there an uptick in threat assessment? Anything happening in Suffolk County?
Right. So yeah, we have no direct threats here in Suffolk County, but at any time there's an incident like this, and I'll also address the recent anti-Semitic incidents that we've had in the tri-state area. So any incident like that, or the incidents with the anti-Semitic problems, we're always increasing patrol, we're always and I would like to emphasize that we need you to help us. So you've seen it or heard it many times. If you see something, say something, or if you hear anything suspicious, please let us know, call 911, and we can investigate it. But there have been no direct threats or no direct incidents here. As far as anti-Semitic incidents here, we had 3 Jewish houses of worship last month that had incidents. One was criminal mischief, property was damaged, and 2 were burglaries. We have no reason to believe those places were targeted because they were Jewish places of worship. Okay.
They were on Park Avenue, right?
Yes, all 3 were on Park Avenue. Yes. Yes.
Inspector Scrima, could you tell me, I know that the town of Huntington and even Suffolk County Legislature has videos that they, as the meetings are going on, they're taping, and the public has access to them. Does the police department also have that? Or, because I've checked online, I didn't see anything.
Access to what now?
You know, the way we have this meeting,
Right.
is there
Live
no
stream.
video record of it, or?
No, we don't post our videos of our meetings, no.
We do.
We do. You can find them on
Yeah.
YouTube.
They do it on, right.
You had a statistic up there, I believe it was about 167 arrests last month in December.
Yes.
We have some new bail requirements that have occurred in January 1st.
Yes.
And you had, without getting into specifics, you had robberies and assaults and thefts and all kinds of stuff like that. Of those 167, how many would now be remanded to court?
I don't know the exact number, but the changes are anything that's not a D felony or above, we will release from the precinct. There are a few exceptions. I won't go into all of them, but domestics we won't release, DWIs we won't release. So there are some exceptions to that, orders of protection, that sort of thing. But in general, if it's below a D felony, they will be released.
Is it safe to say that the vast number of those arrests would basically be turned back into the community on a pretty rapid basis?
It's safe to say the majority of them would. I wouldn't say, I don't know the vast, I don't know all the specific charges, but yeah, a significant number of them will be released if they were arrested January 1st or later. Yes. Yes.
So that robbery where the person broke into the house, tied up the residents, stole jewelry, and left, if they arrest him, just to clarify, he will get an appearance ticket. And not only that...
No. A robbery is greater than a D felony.
Okay.
So we will keep him here at the precinct. The court has a whole separate set of criteria that they use, whether they're going to keep them or release them.
Okay.
So anything a D felony and above, we keep here at the precinct overnight. We don't release them on an appearance ticket, and then the court deals with them the next day. Anything below a D felony, in general, not every single instance, but in general, we'll release them on an appearance ticket here, and then the courts will deal with them when they
And how long is the appearance ticket? Like, what's the date? If you arrested me, what am I looking at?
It's usually within a month.
A month.
Yeah.
And then that's your arraignment? When you go to your appearance ticket? That's your arraignment?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Where they can let you out again.
Yeah, and then you just set another date, another court date.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly.
And that's when the discovery rule
I think
will
it's
take
20
effect.
days now. Is it 20 days now, I think? I think it's 20 days that they have to have their appearance by.
In 20 days.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other day, somebody in March.
Are they afraid that these people will come back after them if they report it?
It's a wide variety of reasons. I'm not going to speculate on the reasons for these particular people, but it could be they're afraid. It could be that they're not telling the truth in all aspects, or they don't want to be completely forthright because they have something to hide. It could be all different things. It could be a friend of theirs that they realized, or a domestic thing that they don't want to offend anybody else. There are a lot of different reasons people don't cooperate. I don't know specifically why these people did.
Because, I mean, I find it odd because initially they reported it and then they don't want to get further into the details, which, you know, kind of counterintuitive.
That's fairly common. That's not uncommon. That happens sometimes, yeah. Yes.
I would like to ask, what is the precinct
or the police in general doing about the increase in speeding and reckless driving late? I've called the precinct about it, but obviously it's not an emergency situation. There's been one death on our street because of, racing, somebody hitting a tree. But my fear is somebody who lives on the street coming home late at night encountering a situation like that. So what can I do and what can I expect the precinct to do?
Okay, this comes up every meeting, and I say the same thing every meeting. We can't be at every place because there are literally dozens, if not hundreds of locations in the town that need our attention, whether it's speeding or stop signs or something along those lines. We can do extra enforcement there, and we will do extra enforcement there, but we can't stay there forever. So it will slow down for a while, and then we'll go to another location, and in time, it'll pick back up where you are when we go somewhere else, and we're just going to have to kind of keep you in the rotation, okay? So the specific location with the dates and times, please give it to the sergeant before you leave, and we'll get some people over there to take a look, okay? Yes.
Hi, my question is regarding, do you have a group or do you have statistics on drugs that are being confiscated and what's going around in the community? And I'm particularly concerned about what's happening in the school districts, hospitals,
In general, the most common drugs we find on people and in search warrants are cocaine, heroin, and marijuana. Those are the three that we see pretty regularly. Pills we see pretty frequently also, but not as much as cocaine, heroin, and marijuana. The heroin problem persists, but it has gotten better. The overdoses are down for the year as compared to last year, drastically, so that's good, but it's still too many. As far as the schools go, the biggest problem in the schools really is the vaping and the vape pens. We don't make a lot of arrests, very few arrests for cocaine, heroin, sometimes marijuana. It's usually vaping though. So marijuana and vaping are the problems that you're going to have in the schools, for the most part. Fentanyl is very dangerous, but it's associated with heroin, not with, that's something that's used to cut heroin because it's cheaper. So that's where we find those, and it's extremely dangerous, and that's part of the reason we had so many fatal overdoses is because people were using fentanyl thinking they were using heroin, and that becomes dangerous. It doesn't really happen with marijuana, and doesn't even really happen that much with cocaine. It's usually a heroin issue. Yes?
I want to give you a positive update. So when I came to the meeting last time about Rolling Hills and the crosswalk, with regard to the stop sign and the parking situation, Eugene Cook's office did get back to me. They are going to be installing signs. I believe either no stopping, no standing, something along those lines to prevent cars from blocking the stop sign and the crosswalk. I did reach out to his aide. She's on leave at the moment, but they are planning on doing it within the next couple of months. So there is a positive outcome for that. So thank you, because it makes the coming through this meeting certainly worth it, and it's great to meet other people. The second thing is I'm concerned about are the reports of kids on bicycles, particularly along Comac Road, Vanderbilt Parkway, of these kids just riding recklessly in traffic. I know there's been reports too in Huntington Station, by the railroad tracks. What can you do and what's being done about it?
Yeah, I haven't heard of that recently. We had a number of those calls in the summer and in the fall, but I haven't heard of any of that recently. Have you seen that recently?
I hear about it just from people venting and complaining. That's why I wanted to ask you, like, is something being done in particular? Because every time I feel like I turn around and I take a look, someone is, like I said, I don't agree with it, but posting pictures of these kids and what they're doing wrong. So, I mean, I guess it's proof. My kids aren't old enough to be riding in the street, but I do want to know, like, what gets done when you do get those reports. Are they getting tickets?
It depends on the situation. Every situation is different. So if we get there while they're still there, we can take action.
Okay.
Many times they're juveniles though, so the action we can take is very limited. So
do you like contact a parent and have the parent?
We do. And and then we just hope for parent cooperation, and that's kind of what we need to help solve that problem. Again, I haven't heard that recently. I've only heard that like I said, over the summer and maybe the beginning part of the fall, I haven't heard any calls like that recently. So if you do see it or hear about specific incidents,
Okay.
let us know.
I'll let you know.
Call
That's
911.
fine.
The sooner we get there, the better.
Okay, thank you.
And I have just at my wit's end for a few stop signs on my street. Yesterday, 11 cars within 15 minutes. How do you get you guys to come over and just drive around once in a while?
So, again, I'll say the same thing that I said earlier. We'll put you on the list. We will get there. Get the specific location, dates, and times. Give it to the sergeant before you leave,
And it
and
usually
we'll get
is
there.
a particular time of day when it's really bad for our company. They block our public access for walking on the sidewalks all the time. I have made several complaints to public safety. Next day, same thing. What can we do about that?
If you do that, if that happens, call 911 because we need to be there when it's happening to take action. So while they're parked blocking the roadway or your entrance, call us while it's happening.
I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to tie up 911. I didn't want to call the police. I thought, there's better things to do.
Yeah, I understand, but it's a problem and we need to correct it, and we can only correct it if we get there, so when it's happening. So if next time it happens, call 911, we'll get someone over there and see if we can make a difference for you. Yeah, I mean, they'll find someplace else to park if we go there and issue them tickets. But honestly, what we'll do with that, like what we'll do if they change the signs there, typically what we do is we go there, if they've been doing it for a period of time, we'll give them warnings first. And then after they continue it, then we'll start issuing tickets. Because we want to be fair to them too, because they've been doing whatever they've been doing for so long that they don't think it's a problem. So we'll go there, and again, the sooner we get there, the better. The sooner you call, the better, so that we can take action down the road.
I know in my situation, they're not changing the signs, they're doing what, remember we talked about they should be 30 feet from a stop sign, which most people don't know. They're just making it so that it's clear to the people who don't know that they shouldn't be there. If you have people blocking, I know people blocking certain areas, you don't want to call the police department, and I do understand that, but sometimes there's a point where you have just to make an example, or you can reach out to the company directly and put a letter in writing and put them on notice.
And keep in mind, keep in mind that I understand and I appreciate the fact that you don't want to call 911 because we're busy doing other stuff, and we are, and the officers are very busy doing a lot of hard work. But it's categorized, so your call will be categorized according to the severity or the emergency nature of it. So if we're not going to go to that call if there's a violent domestic or somebody who's injured or something. Right. So you can. So my point is, don't feel bad about calling 911 because we're going to go to those emergencies first, and we're going to get to you when we can get to you. Yes.
Same dead horse.
Yeah.
How hard is it to get a stop sign?
To get one installed, you have to go through the town for that.
Okay. It's woods. There's never been a fire in there, so that area, is ripe for a fire. What I'm asking about is July 4th, when the fireworks are going off everywhere and you guys have to be in 1,000 places. Could there be some priority for our area? Because I have neighbors who shoot off not just fireworks, they're shooting off bombs. And we've had at least 2 instances where those have started small brush fires in neighborhoods, neighborhood backyards. I'm only asking, is there something else we can do other than calling you and saying, my neighbor is sending off fireworks, I'm concerned about a fire? Because it's not just in their backyard now, it's shooting out past their boundaries, and that's all woods.
Yeah, I mean, it's only if we get there when something's going on, we can take action. I mean, if it's a problem yearly,
every year,
remind me before the 4th of July, and we'll send officers to the house that is offended to let them know we're going to keep an eye on the house. Okay. And many times that will dissuade them from doing what they had planned on doing.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Good. Happy New Year
to you and your team. Do you guys have any violent perps that you've apprehended that have gotten out, like reoffended, like you've arrested them, then they reoffended? Are you dealing with that in a second?
No, we haven't. It's only a week old.
AKA give it time.
I mean, but it's a good point because I mean we've kind of been doing things going in that direction for the last few months, preparing for this. So so it's a valid question. I don't know of any in particular. It's possible that it has happened, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Inspector, since, you know, we had the issues up there in the station regarding parking lot 25, I'd like to know, has there been, we've had homeless people camping out in the churches and everything, and I know you guys are doing everything you can, I know it's getting dumped in your lap by the town of Huntington. Has there been any upticks in calls and problems and issues up in that area? And, you know, how is the town of Huntington, are they helping you in any way, or Source the Station helping you in any way, to try to alleviate some of these problems that's going on in the station? We've already lost one person, unfortunately, due to the weather, and, you know, children being grabbed out of libraries and stuff like, attempted, and now, you know, this is all overthrowing people out of parking lot 25, and we're all aware of that. So has there been any uptick in calls, and has there been any agencies contacting you and what to do?
There's been roughly the same number of calls, it's just for different areas now. So we're getting calls along New York Avenue. We're still getting the calls at CVS at the Five Corners, but instead of getting calls for 7-Eleven and the library and behind 7-Eleven, we're getting them at the gas station across the street and then down further south on New York Avenue. And we're in touch with the town pretty regularly about it. We had they requested a camera. We had a camera up there in that lot for a while. We still do actually.
Whose expense was that camera?
It's a county camera. It was the original one we had there was the money for that was acquired by one of the town council people.
Well, they also have $180,000 they're supposed to be getting a check in January for cameras just for Huntington Station. There was talk about cameras in the parking garages, and that's out now. They're not going to happen. So, I mean, have they contacted you? Has code enforcement contacted you in regards to the installation of these cameras in Huntington Station?
Yes, yes. So that's been an ongoing thing for months, actually. So the town is trying to centralize all the cameras that they have around the town so that we can access it and they can access all the cameras.
Are you talking when you say around the town?
I'm talking about the bid cameras.
I know, but are you including Huntington bid in that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
because just to put it on the record, that money, that $180,000 that's coming from the state of New York through Jim Doran's office and Stern's office, that was allocated for Huntington Station. None of that money is to be allocated. I mean, I know it's not your problem, but we have representatives here from the town of Huntington. None of that money out of that $180,000 is to be allocated to the Huntington bid. That's Huntington Station's money. And if they have to upgrade any central locations, that's gonna have to be divided amongst who's ever getting involved with that location. And I just want you aware of, you know, that and I just wanna make sure because you are the important people, because this has been going back and forth for years. I hope your technical guy, Matt, is involved.
He is.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Because I just wanna make sure, you know, that money was fought for very hard, and I don't trust him with that money. But when I hear $100,000 in the Long Island going into the train station parking garages, it's not for the parking garage. That's the town of Huntington's responsibility, not ours, and not the money that Glory got. That's for you guys, not them. If they can't protect the passengers, because I took that railroad for 40 years, those cameras have not worked there for 2 years. So the town of Huntington is gonna be put on notice if something happens in one of those parking garages, because my children go through that parking garage to work in the city. And if something ever happens, they're gonna be held accountable.
Yeah, as I said, it's an ongoing process,
Okay.
and they're working on it with us. They include us in the meetings.
Listen, I'm not directing this towards you, sir. I wanna make sure you guys get everything that you're entitled to, because you have a lot enough time, and they seem to be throwing more things on your plate every day. And they're not gonna start, bad enough they're throwing this whole situation up in the station on you guys. They're not gonna start taking things either, when there's materials and resources being given to you to help you out.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Okay, here's a question for you. And our house is set all the way back. And my husband is very concerned that if we go away on a vacation, that this house is not gonna be protected. What is your recommendation?
So if you're going on vacation, call us and let us know. Call the desk, and they'll take the dates that you're going to be away, and we'll put it in. We have what's called a patrol check system. So each car in the precinct knows what's going on in their particular area, their sector.
Don't put it on Facebook.
Don't post your flight.
The other thing is, that ring, I don't know how that works. Would that be hooked up to the police?
It's not hooked up to us, but it's pretty easy to send us the video or the clips. We get those pretty frequently. You can contact headquarters. There is a developing program. I'm not sure where it is right now, where they have people giving them feeds. It's mostly businesses now. I don't know if they're doing it with residences yet. But if you have Ring videos, you can send those videos to us, and as I said, it's very helpful for us to know what's happening, where it's happening, when it's happening. So, yeah, if you have that would be great. But let us know when you're going to be away. We'll put the patrol check in so the sector car knows that the house is going to be vacant for a week or two. And we'll do the check for that week or two, and then we take the patrol check out once you return.
How often do you check it?
It depends on the day and the tour. It depends on how busy it is. It's a routine thing, but it's not done every single there's no pattern to it. It's an irregular patrol.
What does the check involve?
The check involves whatever you think we need. You tell us. So if you think the back of your house is susceptible, we'll get out and walk around the house, or we'll drive around the back of the other side. If you think it's just general, we'll just drive by and see if there's anybody, lurking around. That's all.
Well, if they drive by the front, they're probably not going to see anything unless somebody's got a moving van parked in the driveway.
Which happens.
No
Oh
doubt.
boy.
Yeah,
but yeah, if you think
I think
there's,
you gotta, especially if a place is secluded, it's probably better to kind of walk around and see if something's going on.
If there's time, they will do that. Yeah.
What's the direct phone number to call for that?
You can call the front desk is 854-8200.
Like the inspector says, when you do a patrol check, leave us a contact number. Then if, God forbid, we have to get a hold of you or whatever, we can, or somebody, that's close maybe.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. We do patrol checks for stop signs and speeding and drugs and vacations. We do patrol checks for all different kinds of police-related problems.
Is there a group in the department that's focused on finding out where the drugs are being sold from?
We have the county-wide narcotics unit, but we also have local precinct detectives who kind of focus on the drug activity. So, and then that goes through narcotics, which is the countywide thing. And some of it, if it's appropriate for the precincts to handle, they will send it to the precinct level narcotics detectives. Anybody else? Yeah.
How many of the search warrants that you guys executed in December were gang related? My usual
so the
question.
ones I had here on the slide, there were no confirmed gang members arrested. You might be referring to the MS-13 arrests that were done. There were a number of MS-13 arrests. Some of them were here in Huntington. And those search warrants obviously were gang related. I didn't put that in the slide, and I'd rather not give too much information, A, because everyone has not been arrested, but also the district attorney's office is handling that, so information should really come from them on that. But I will say a number of MS-13 people from Huntington were arrested, and there are more arrests coming.
Okay, and then the Taco Bell, the individual, who was
We had
found.
a fatal overdose.
It
at
was
Taco
an
Bell.
overdose,
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
What was her age roughly? Can you share that?
I believe she was
20?
late 20s. Yes.
Right here on Jericho, or which time?
New York Avenue.
Was it heroin or was it something else?
We don't know yet. There's no toxicology report yet, but in all likelihood it was heroin. But we don't know for sure. Anybody else? Yes.
Can I ask, again, this is my first meeting, what other programs do you have or are you looking to start that could be outreach programs for community members? I've always been taught that the more you offer, the more opportunities you offer, the better opportunities for kids and adults who don't have opportunities or options and get into trouble, sometimes if they have a program to go to.
So there are a number of programs. Most of them are run through our Community Relations Bureau. So call headquarters and ask for the Community Relations Bureau, and they can give you a wide variety of options depending on what you're specifically looking for.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank
See you next
you.
month.
Where'd that lady go?